Tesla will increase the price of the rear-wheel drive Model Y and the long-range Model Y by $1,000 next week on March 15th. James is happy with what's going on. This is the correct direction. Canada sales are ripping following the price cut that allowed some Canadians to qualify for additional rebates and tax incentives. I track a different data set and share with subscribers, and we saw this in the February data, massive month-over-month increase in demand over January. I think there's a very good chance that Tesla carefully planned this when they cut the prices in Canada, because after this $1,000 increase, Tesla will be at the cap of how much they can sell the vehicles for and still be eligible for all of these incentives. Canada has a $5,000 federal incentive, then there's a $4,000 one in BC, and $7,000 in Quebec. In the meantime, in the US, Tesla is offering existing owners in the US and Canada a paint or interior color upgrade when they order and take delivery of a vehicle from existing inventory by March 31st. This can be stacked with all existing incentives, excludes leased vehicles though. Troy's assessment of this situation is that Tesla pulled this demand lever because Model Y inventory in the US is high. This is a very important update from Sawyer about Tesla. I spoke in person today with a couple of people who work at a local Tesla store. One of them has been working there for 7 years. I asked them what's the number one concern they hear from people who walk in is. They said range anxiety. They added that people feel they need 500 miles of range. The average gas car doesn't have anywhere near that range, and chargers, especially in the urban areas, are commonplace. Most people just charge at home anyway. In the US, the average median car range, that's a gasoline-powered vehicle, is 413 miles. So substantially more than Tesla's 260 miles. If you get the rear-wheel drive and if you get the long-range model, 310. Also, I have never experienced the EPA estimate to ever be fully accurate. The real-world range is always less. Now, I never really paid a lot of attention to the gas-powered vehicle range in the vehicles that I drove before, but a few times I did. I found the estimate to be really accurate. If anything, it was too conservative. The main thing is you won't see a big range hit in cold weather with gas-powered cars. Then the next concern was, they also said many people think a Tesla starting price is $30,000 to $50,000 higher than it actually is. So James dunks on Elon. Yeah, price cut fixes this. Am I right, Elon? To some limited degree, it does, because when there's a huge price cut, there is media coverage, and then people tell their friends, and these friends tell other people. But that's a relatively slow process, especially if none of your friends have any Teslas, and if you don't really read the media every single day, because the media only covers the price cut for a day if it's a massive price cut, and then it's over. And this is where Martin Vieca from Tesla's investment relations responded to Sawyer. It's quite staggering that so many gas car owners are worried about charging along trips, while the overwhelming majority of Tesla owners feels exactly the opposite. This is where education through ads makes sense. You can look at the survey of Tesla owners, and you can see that Tesla owners generally are happy with the supercharging network. People are certainly generally satisfied with the range, although there's some room for improvement looking at this light blue color. However, there's definitely some survivorship bias going on in that survey, because if you look at this plane, which was used in one of the world wars, these planes would come back with bullets hitting these places, and they would think, oh, we need to reinforce these places because that's where the planes get hit. But only the planes that get hit here, 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 and here come back. If the plane gets hit right here where the pilot sits, or right here in the motor, that plane is not coming back. This survey represents people that probably live in single-family houses, people that can easily charge at home. You ask people that have a Tesla vehicle and they live in an apartment where they cannot charge their vehicle at home or at work easily, then you look at the time spent charging, and probably this would be mostly red. And I know this because I have friends that had Teslas, lived in apartments, and then they got rid of their Tesla and they don't want to ever go back unless they can charge at home. It just takes too much time to drive to the supercharger. The supercharger is way too far from their apartment. And when eventually you get there, it does take quite a bit longer than filling up a gas tank. Completely irrelevant if you live in a place where you can charge at home though. However, over time, as battery energy density increases and ranges improve and batteries get cheaper, and as charging speeds increase and as superchargers become even more common everywhere, even if you live in an apartment where you cannot charge at home, it will still be fine. So you see, this is a temporary problem and not a permanent problem.